Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Double. I'm going to skip all the long intros and get right into updating your tank, whether it's the black box, the Tank Pro, all of that kind of stuff. You're going to want to go over first to the link. It's the M-Vave link. I never understand all the naming that this company is doing, but we're looking at the M-Vave site first. We want to grab the M upgrade. You want to make sure that you get the software for whatever operating system that you have. If you're going to do some training, which is a big part of why I like the Tank products, you're going to want to grab the AN or the Synco AN software. The link on the M-Vave site will lead you to a mega folder. You'll have to download it. You don't have to log in. Then you're going to want to grab that 1.07 update. So I'm grabbing all of these zips. I'm going to end up unzipping all of them. There is also a firmware update for all of these Tank products. The Tank Pro one is not on the M-Vave site, so we have to actually go to a different site. The previous devices will all be found on the M-Vave site, and then of course you can pick whether you're going to do this upgrade from the PC or from your mobile phone. If you have the KPT Pro, go to the second link that I have. Go to the top of the page. You'll see in that blue bar there the actual download. And at the bottom there, it has all the other firmware devices that you can get for the PC. You only have to go to this site if you really have the Pro. Everything else is going to be updated, it seems like, at the M-Vave site. Now I'm just taking all of the files that I've downloaded. I'm making it a little bit easier for me to work with them by putting them all on the desktop. I'm going to go through and install updates and apps, and I'll walk you guys through that. The first thing, if you're going to be doing captures, is you're going to want to update the Synco AN app. So you take your initial AN, what they call the initial AN folder, and you go all the way into the app folder, and we're going to install this new AN 1.07 in that folder. You'll be prompted to hit run anyways, because Windows is going to say, hey, this file, we don't know. So you're going to just go ahead and say, yes, let this do that. You're going to direct the installer to the app folder. Now, for some reason, there's like 3 AN folders until you get to the app folder. So you need to go here to where it says browse. And then you need to click a couple of times here, okay? You got to find, I have it on the desktop. You got to find these AN folders. And as you get deeper in there, you're going to want to select the app folder. Not the AN folders, nothing else. You have to select the app folder, hit OK, and then hit install. And that will go through the process really quickly. And now you can hit finish. You can close this all out, and you'll see, if you do all your searching, all that kind of stuff, the folder really pretty much looks the same. But in order to make this program a little more accessible, you can create a shortcut from that folder to this desktop icon. However you want to do it, I just click on the folder and I open up the Synco AN app by clicking that now freshly updated shortcut to the actual app. I do wish that it would just install to the program files, but it doesn't. You have to go into the folder and you have to click it, or you have to right click it and create a desktop shortcut, all that kind of stuff. So that gives us this Synco AN update, and you can see there at the top it says 1.07. And now within this, we have all sorts of new things that we can capture. We're not just limited to their original AM2. They have updated their process to AM3 as well, and it's supposed to be a lot more clean, a lot clearer. Now, what we have to do in order to fully take advantage of all of this new stuff, we also have to upgrade our device. So click M upgrade, and then direct, once it senses the device you have, you select the firmware and direct it again to the proper location where you saved it. Again, mine's on the desktop. We do all that through the M upgrade app. It will apply the new firmware. So not only can we do all of these new captures, let's say you don't want to deal with all the capturing. M-Vave now has a community site third link below in the description will be their community site. I've created my page, my whatever you want to call it, and I will start uploading stuff as of this weekend, and I'm just going to keep on uploading all of the different files I've already created and all of the new ones that I will continue to create. When I found this page, there was about 50 pages of captures, and now there's, look, 64 pages already. So I haven't published anything. You can hit the publish button, come up here, identify it, label it, even link a video to you playing it, and then hit publish and So that's, you should go to that page. Okay, so that's a great way to start getting into the new captures, all of the new stuff that's out there, all of the tweaks and things. Do all of that without having to really get into making your own captures. We'll delve into the captures later on, but now that the devices are updated with new firmware, we can plug into the new version of MEFCS software. It's a very similar process that you've seen before. There are some new tabs. They've kind of given you some more control, some more labeling. So I'm happy. I'm getting happier with this KPT Pro. There are, of course, some concessions I have to make about it, but that's all been discussed in other videos. It seems like at the moment, the Cinco An app doesn't want to tell me it's linked to the KPT Pro, but I have been able to sample the captures with the KPT Live. So even though it's saying it's not connected, it actually seems to be connecting, and I'm able to demo any captures that I have. So within my audio train folders, I have some of my stored amps that I've already captured, and I have some of the ones that you can download. And actually a viewer sent me a couple just to make sure that his computer was working well, so thank you for sending those along. They sound great. I really hope that you get up on the website and upload those, because that SLA amp you sent me sounds awesome. But this is where we can rename our amps to whatever we want. The renaming the amps in the device is actually pretty simple. However, when we go to the capturing process, it's kind of particular. So you may not want to go through all of the captures in order to really fully take advantage of what the Tank stuff has to offer. So make sure you join that community page, get on some of the Facebook groups, things like that. If this video has kind of inspired you but hasn't shown you enough. But right now, I'm just kind of running through the Tank, and what I have noticed, still a little bit glitchy within their MEFCS software, is that when I put a new preamp into the Tank through the software and label it, it doesn't show up until I close the program out and then reopen it. And then it syncs back up, and it's pretty strange. So you can see right there is the amp that I just put into the Tank. When I uploaded it, I had to actually close the MEFCS software and then reopen it in order for the software to say, hey, here's your new one labeled properly now. I don't know, maybe they'll fix that, but I am happier that now I can get these captures. I can start sharing them in a much better way than just giving you guys a Google link. That's great. So as I'm changing my amps, remember, I have to now save my preset to either the one that I've designated it to by saying save to and then not changing the destination, or by hitting save preset to another location. And I pretty much loaded up the first few banks of my Tank with a few different amps that I had grabbed. It's been really easy, it's been really simple. But like I said, anytime I add new stuff, I have to pretty much reopen the MEFCS software. So I'm going to have to create a shortcut and do all that kind of stuff and make it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. I recommend you do that. But right now, I just have to kind of click through everything every time I want to open something. But you can see I've taken some converted files. These are from Tone Hunt. Okay, so one of the most killer things about this new update, we can now convert NAM captures to AM3 files that the Tank can use, and lots of people at the M-Vave community page have already done so. I held off on making a comparison video between this Pro Tank and the Sonic Cake Pocket Master because I really had a feeling that they would update the tank stuff to be able to use the open source software known as NAM, Neural Amp Modeling. And yes, within a week of me starting to film the comparison video, they did that. Again, once the preamp capture is in the tank, you can rename it whatever you want in the software. However, going through this process here, the Synco and capture or conversion process, if you've downloaded a NAM file and you want to convert it to an AM3, you have to do some very particular things. One of which is renaming and making sure that your folders and your downloaded files match perfectly. Otherwise, you won't get a folder full of all of the things that you need in order to make this work. So how do we do that? We select a train directory, and then we create a new folder, or we select the folder that we've already created. And then I select 1024, that's what they recommend. And then the highest processing, all of that kind of stuff. I just do the first click, bring that one down. It goes through this process, and it will then convert the NAM file that you have grabbed from tonehunt.com, one of the links that I've left below. It will then convert that file into something that the tank can use and that you can hear. And that is actually sounds to me a lot better than the ones that come installed, at least in the early tank stuff. I don't know about this latest one. The noise factor, a lot of people ask me about the noise factor in this tank. I do think something has been fixed. It sounds a lot cleaner with this new firmware, but we'll walk through the whole renaming process. You can have no spaces. You can have no special symbols, nothing like that. So basically any one of the amps that I've grabbed, I've tried to just rename it real short. If it's from the NAM site, if it's from Tone Hunt and it's a NAM capture, I've been just adding NAM to my folder or to my file name, and then whatever it's going to be. So let's pull up the audio train folder, which is actually, which one is it? It's in the app folder, right? We go to select directory, and we're going to want to pick that notorious app folder that's buried all of the way in there. We don't want to click on audio train. We want to click on app and select that. Create a new folder with no spaces, no special symbols, nothing like that. Hit choose. Go to where you have kept your downloads from Tone Hunt. Now, I happen to have them all in a folder here within other folders. So the ones that I've grabbed so far from NAM are all labeled .NAM. And they're over here on the left. You can see a 6505. A little bit further down, I have a couple of other captures in here, Soldano, PRS. You can capture preamps, you can capture distortions, you can capture preamps and IRs. If you do capture a full rig like that with an IR already on it, make sure you turn off the IR internally within the tank, because then you'd be doubling up the IRs. But the Tone Hunt site here has all sorts of different captures, and you can sort through whether you want just the amps or the pedals or the full rig. But just remember to keep that in mind. If you're grabbing a full rig, the tank stuff also has an IR slot that you're then going to want to turn off. If you're grabbing a capture of just a preamp, you're going to want to make sure that you have turned your IR slot on. In my previous videos, when I was doing captures, you guys gave me a lot of crap about actually playing through those preamps, but without an IR. But I was really just trying to do that part of it to show you the comparisons, and that this tank stuff really does a good job of making conversions, and it's gotten better and it's gotten better. And on all these sites, the Tone sites and at the community site, the Tone Hunt site and the community page for M-Vave. You can follow users, you can share their things, you can like all of their stuff and grab all of their different captures. As you're grabbing them, of course, some of them are going to be zipped, so you're going to have to go through and unzip them. And just remember where you're placing them. I like to, as I grab things off of the internet, put them into the proper folders. So just do that. Once you've compiled a whole bunch of them, you can just kind of start your conversion process. I like doing a few downloads at a time because otherwise I get a little bit overwhelmed. And then I know if I find something that I like, I can keep it and it'll be easier for me to remember which ones I actually like. So that's just how my OCD mind works. You do it however you want, but this is how you do it. No spaces, no special symbols. Go to your AND folder, go to your AND folder, go to your app folder, okay? Create a new folder. Make sure you rename it what you want in a way that you can remember it. Okay, this is going to be the 6505 from Hell folder that I want to convert to. So I've already downloaded the NAM file. My app folder for this is now currently empty. I drag the NAM capture over and I have to make sure that the NAM file is the exact same name as the folder. Folder 6505 Hell. See, you have to do that. I have no spaces in any of these, and then that way it will create the proper files and it will see it, it will recognize it. So when we create a new folder, we just want to make sure that we do not use any spaces or any special symbols while renaming that folder. And then we also want to make sure that we rename whatever NAM file that we're popping in here. It is the exact same name as the folder. I'm sorry I'm saying it twice, but I think that is something that's very important. It was something that I really pointed out in my original tank videos, that when I was having trouble figuring out how to do this, that was one of the big troubleshooting issues, and it's still something I hear people talk about today. So make sure your folders and the files that you want to convert are the exact same. And it's the same thing when you're doing a capture through AM2 or AM3. These folders and files have to have the exact same, the same names. If you want to do a space, you need to do an underscore, and that may help make it a little bit more readable for you. So we're going to select our train folder, which is right here. We're going to pick, in this case, I'm picking the amp that I've wanted to use, and it's going to be the 6505. I'm going to select 1024 batch size. I'm going to let it go fast. Just hit OK, and it starts the initial pre-process, and then it will actually start converting. And depending on how quick your processor is, it will, for me, it was about 15 minutes or so per capture or per conversion. So it starts off with a really high number, but then it just quickly starts jumping down. And I'll speed up this background process. I'm not going to sit here and make you wait all 15 minutes. So let's fast forward all of this real quick. And there we have it. So when you click on this folder now, you should see 4 files and then a couple of other things. This top one, AM3 data, that's the important one for us because that's what we're going to be able to pop into our tanks just easily through the MEFCS software. So again, you select the folder, select the train directory, and make sure that you have completely matching names. That is the most important part, okay? And then, of course, obviously make sure that you select NAM to AM3. Hit train, turn up the batch size to 1024, 5000, delay 0, and you're all rolling. So if you use the phone, I believe that there's a new phone app available. You have to uninstall it, update it, do whatever it is that you're supposed to do. Let's check out a couple of the conversions from NAM files over to AM3. Oh yeah, another little trick that I have kind of figured out has been moving the first effects block after certain profiles in order to help level them out, and then turn it into the just the compressed one, because you also get a gate there, and it's pretty effective. Yeah. So, and then by having it on, it also allows me to use that post compression level to bring up that particular patch some. I'm really starting to like this guy, but I do wish that the bringing in and out different effects didn't make that silence that it does. It just drops out completely. It just gets completely silent for like a split second. And I'm not going to harp on it because this thing does a lot. I know you guys like it, and it's sturdy as heck. I do wish it was stereo. I do wish that the channel switching was a little bit better, or the effect switching, anything like that. But I did notice that this latest update on the Pro allows a lot better switching between patches. The dropout isn't anywhere near as noticeable. So that's pretty cool. The fact that we can now use these NAMM profiles is extra cool. All right, I'm going to play just a little bit more, and I thank you for being here. All right. I really do. Thank you very much. And this has really been a long video. If you don't have one of these and you've watched me through it, oh, you are a stinking trooper. If you do like the video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Give a subscribe on your way out the door, and I'll see you next time on Double D Guitar, right? Thanks, guys.